How do you know if you're a light worker? This video is going to be for those of you who are maybe just discovering this definition. This video is for those who are wondering the types, the qualities, and perhaps you've come into an awakening recently and you just want to figure out maybe if you're on a different path. Maybe something has opened up to you now, a new idea of sorts. And you just want to know, maybe you've been hearing the term and you just want to know kind of what it is, what it means, and if you are one. So I'm Sammy. I've been on a spiritual awakening since 2010, but really my whole life. I'm a Pisces sun, and so I'm going to go over these with you, add or take away whichever you like. If you resonate with multiple of these things, then if you feel like identifying as a light worker, then by all means, perhaps you are one. So light workers are individuals. It sounds pretty simple. It is pretty simple. Who feels pure of heart, who feels guided by the divine, connected to the spiritual path, and who wants what's best for humanity. Okay, light workers help humanity. We're helping the planet raise the vibration. We're helping humanity raise the consciousness in order to help everybody, help the planet get out of this trap that we've been stuck in for so long. And really the whole universe is getting an upgrade. So I have some videos on ascension, which may make more sense to you if you want to watch that after this, that I made a while ago, probably a year or more ago. So what is a light worker? It's just like the name. It's someone who works with the energy, works with humanity, works with individuals in a way that is productive and that offers hope, help, love, and works for the light, which you may consider God, source, creator, the universe, goodness. Okay? Now, what are some signs that you might be a light worker? Number one, you may have always had a connection to the divine since you were little. Okay? Some people have this, some people can see things, some people can hear things, some people just feel very in tune with their intuition. Okay, a lot of water signs have this. Pisces especially is the most psychic sign. So if you feel you've been more spiritually inclined your whole life, that would be a sign that maybe you're a light worker. Number two, another sign that you are a light worker is that you identify, or you may not know what it is yet, but you are an empath, which means you feel the people around you, and this is your superpower. So if you're an empath, you may be highly sensitive to energies, not just other people, definitely people and emotions, but also maybe light, maybe radiation, maybe electricity. These are the type of people who just feel things, okay? And that is a type of light worker. I'm going to get into the types after this, but that would be a type of light work, would be transmuting the emotions of the people around you. And you may not know that's what you're doing, but that's what you're doing. If you're an empath, if you consider yourself highly sensitive and emotional, then you may be an empath. And I believe that is a form of light work, because you are, whether you know it or not, whether you know how to or not, you're taking on the emotions of other people. Now, what you don't want to do is continue down that road and keep those emotions hidden within. You really have to learn to take in those emotions, transmute them outward, and give them back to Gaia and ground yourself. Because you're helping other people all day long, and then at the end of the day, you're covered in this filth of energy from all these people you've been helping. Okay, and they're not going to tell you to stop helping them. So you have to understand how to transmute that energy. Okay, number three, how do you know if you're a light worker? You feel drawn to the spiritual path. It could be religion. It could be cultural traditions. It could be angels. Maybe you have a thing with angels. Maybe you have a love of angels. These are just little ways, little signs that you would know. But ultimately, light workers feel the need to fight for humanity. So you're for justice, you're for purity, you're for truth. Okay, these are all aspects of light working or a light worker. Another way you would know if you're a light worker is if you are in energy work. Chiropractic is a form of energy work. Reiki healing, of course. Sound healing. Yoga. All of these things are on the spiritual path. Yoga, in its truest form, when you include meditation and all that, is very spiritual. Some people, I imagine there's many yoga instructors who just get into it for the physical aspects and because they want to teach. But in reality, they're light workers at their core. So some people will awaken to their path this life, some people won't, and that's your choice. You chose it before you came. If you're newly awakened, then this may sound kind of cool because you might feel like the black sheep right now. You may feel like you've come into some new form of truth and you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. And maybe you're looking to belong somewhere. Maybe Lightworkers seems like a cool place to belong. And I suppose it is. Lightworkers, there's many of us on the planet, many, probably millions at this time. So what I want to say is we don't have to identify as anything. We don't have to identify as light workers. This is just something for people who are newly awakened or people who are on the path, the spiritual path, the enlightenment path, who are seeking higher knowledge, who are looking to raise the frequency of humanity, who are always looking to help humanity and your fellow brothers and sisters to find their path, to find their life purpose, and to find fulfillment, satisfaction in your life. When you're doing this in a positive way, and you're very pure of heart, you're a light worker. So there's probably many, many more signs. I mean, if you're seeing synchronicities, sometimes those are just your angels talking to you. But if you've seen synchronicities, you've seen the same numbers for years, I'm talking decades, they're probably trying to get you to remember who you are. If you haven't come into that spiritual awakening yet, and you're just curious, that could be a sign that maybe you need to dig a little bit deeper. But for those of you who feel like you're on this newly awakened path, there are multiple ways of waking up. There's spiritual life waking up. You start digging into astrology and the deeper meanings of things, perhaps numerology or the tarot, or just buying a deck of oracle cards. When you start questioning, maybe where do we go when we die? And sometimes that happens when we're forced to face our own mortality. When someone dies or whatever, it puts us on a new path. We start questioning things, and then we get involved in this much more spiritual nature. Jupiter being in Pisces right now is expanding the spiritual nature of everyone. So this is a great time to wake up, if that's what you're doing, and it's a great time to find out more about who you are if you identify or feel like you may be a light worker. So there are several different types of light workers. There are earth angels. Earth angels are here to protect humanity. They're here to hold the frequency of love and light. They may be called to certain specific tasks. Earth angels sometimes don't live that long. Sometimes they come and go very quickly because the job is done. That doesn't mean if you are an earth angel that you can't live a very long life. I'm just thinking here about specifics. Other forms of light work would be truthers, people who want to confront others in a loving, positive way about the falsehoods of this reality and teach them the truth, show them the light, show them the spiritual realms. There's a huge truther movement now, and many of them would call themselves light workers. They feel drawn to the path of calling in the light, holding in the light, holding the goodness, and raising the consciousness of humanity. There's another form of light work, which would be the energy healing. These can be the empaths. Empaths make great Reiki healers. Once they know how to transmute that energy, because they feel so strongly, they can go right to your problem area. They can figure out what chakras are blocked, and they do that very well. If you feel you're an empath and you want to help heal people, that could be something that you would be interested in. Spiritual healers. This could be anything. This could be, maybe you feel like everyone's drawn to you. They all want to tell you their problems. And many people may think that's like, okay, so I'm like a therapist for these people, or everyone just unloads on me and vents to me. That is a gift, because they believe what you say. They get relief when they speak with you. And it is a form of healing that you're offering to these people. People may be attracted to you for advice, and you don't really know why. Everyone just tells you every problem in their life, and they come to you. That is a form of light work. That is a form of spiritual healing. There are other types of light workers who are just here just to be. Just to be. They hold the light. They're holding the space. And we have many tasks, I will say. So you could identify with multiple of these types, and you may change them as you go through different phases. So there may be a time where you feel really strong with the truth or movement, and you really want to show people the truth. You dig deep down the rabbit hole and you get into the research, and you really want to show people the positive side of breaking out of the matrix, of growing into your own person and expanding your consciousness and understanding what it means to create your own reality and create the life that you want. So maybe you'll do that for a while, and then maybe you need to back off. You need to isolate yourself. And when we do that, most of the time we're healing ourselves, we're healing our inner wounds, but also we could be healing the collective and not even know it. We could be taking on all the pain of the earth and not even know it. So there's different tasks that we do. There's different things that we go through in these phases. And so you may do several of these tasks, and you may identify with several of these types. There's also a light worker who is the activist, who fights, who will fight till the death for humanity, for the greatness, for the truth, for freedom. And those people know if they're guided, and they know because they feel like spiritual warriors. They may identify as light warriors. Okay, it is still a form of light work, but they are the ones who are willing to fight. And doesn't have to mean violent, but they're the ones who stand up for others. They're the ones who take leadership roles. Okay, also we have light workers who identify more greatly with Earth herself, with Gaia, or the mother, or whatever you call her. They work with helping the planet to raise her vibration, to heal energies and transmute with the planet, transmute energies of humanity for the planet. And they are lovers of the environment. Okay, these may be protectors of Earth. There are light workers who feel this way about animals. Maybe they don't really care too much for people, but they really love animals. And this is another form of light work. So this is how we show compassion. Light workers have compassion and passion for certain things. They may be different things, but they're all for the highest good of humanity, of the planet, of raising the vibration of people and expanding positivity and that softer, more feminine nature. That doesn't mean you can't be a man. There are many men light workers. Astrologers, people who work with the occult knowledge, numerologists, tarot readers, psychics, mediums. These are all people on the positive spiritual path. Are they all light workers? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on a lot of things. So it depends on why you feel you're here. Do you feel you're here on a mission to help humanity? Do you feel you're here on a mission to help the earth, to change where our future is going? Some people get wrapped up in the ego and they think they're getting into light work, and then really it's just about how it makes them look, or the money they can make, or the book deals they can get. Some psychics do that, and maybe they lose their way. Ultimately, light workers will not put anything before their light work. So the mission feels very strong. It feels urgent. It feels like you need to take action. It feels like you are constantly looking for ways to help others in the purest form, because that is what you feel your mission is. There are, we talked about the activists, we talked about the truthers, we talked about the healers. Okay, there are star seeds. Star seeds are a type of light worker who comes in and feels strongly connected in a past life or this life. They may have strong memories or really know why they're here, and they're connected to extraterrestrial or other dimensional beings, places, other worlds. And they remember those worlds, some of them, and they just know they're not from here. Okay, a lot of them come in with a very specific mission, and it may be nothing really to do with humanity. It may be a very targeted mission for empowering, who knows. There's people who come in with so many different specific reasons that it may not be ultimately thought of as light work. There's beings who come from Lyra, and they just come in to feel into their bodies and be here at this time, right? I would consider them a starseed, but that doesn't mean they're a light worker. But there are many light workers who are incarnated from other worlds, other dimensions, like Pleiadians, who their only mission is to uplift humanity, to help us grow. And that would be a light worker. Along with the star seeds, there are people who are just here to witness, and they're holding the light. So like I mentioned before, there is a type of light worker who just holds space for the transformation, for the healing of all. They may not know that's what they're doing, but they feel very drawn to certain things having to do with the spiritual path. They may feel drawn to people. They may attract certain types of people, but you would know if you were this type of person because you may feel really drained from time to time, or when you're around people, maybe you feel drained. You feel the need to isolate often. Okay, that's the same with empaths. So I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head, as you can tell. But these are the different qualities or kind of targeted areas within the light worker community. So spiritual healing is huge. Okay, helping people get onto their path is huge. Helping people awaken is huge. That's the truther movement, and that is also the activist movement, helping to move forward, physically pushing to move forward. And then there's those who are protecting the earth, protecting the animals. You may feel very drawn to marine life and you don't understand why. Maybe you were a dolphin in your last life. I don't know. Could have been. And there's reasons for everything, and I truly believe that. So that's how you may know if you're a light worker or not. And if you're newly awakened, this may sound kind of cool. And I'm sure there's tons of other videos that you can watch here on YouTube of how to know if you're a light worker. But ultimately, only you can know that on your own path, on your own spiritual journey, and maybe meeting like-minded individuals in your community, forming a community, of people who are just getting on their path, but it is kind of an isolated journey until you find those that match with your energy and they match with your mission and what you're here to do. And some of us have different missions, but ultimately we're all working for one, and that's to help humanity grow and expand and raise the consciousness, raise the vibration, and ultimately raise the vibration of the planet and move forward into a new paradigm for humanity and empowering ourselves, taking back our sovereignty, and getting rid of the negative or darker energies that have been in control for so long. So I hope you found this informative. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or ideas or videos, things that you want to know about, please put those in the comments. If you identify as a light worker, please like this video. Please comment on this video how you know that you're a light worker, when you found out that you were a light worker, or what drew you to this path, and what you feel your mission is. Please write that in the comments. That will really help others too, and myself. Thank you. See you guys in the next one.